Once guys, better move more in the shot. Okay, now, once again, welcome to another episode of Top 10 Videos. Now, well, probably, maybe not some of you, but maybe, well, probably maybe a couple of you may have seen the last episode, Top 10 I uploaded the other day. Yeah, so, on the, I did a Top 10 video about the top 10 best superhero TV shows, otherwise known as the mainly DC and Marvel shows. And one of them on the list was the Spectacular Spiderman TV show. And since it being the most famous Spider-Man TV show that ever came out, I thought I would do a little top 10 list on the Spectacular Spiderman show. So yes, without further ado, let's do this, shall we? Now also, I do not remember all the names of the episode. I actually don't remember any names of the episodes. So I'm just going to be naming them what I named them, basically, what I think they should be called, but yeah, whatever. So, kicking off our list on number 10 is The Hunt. So basically it starts off with, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this episode does contain spoilers of all the episodes, so if you don't want spoilers, just click away, basically, what I'm saying. Anyway, so The Hunt, also you could call it Spider-Man vs. Kraven the Hunter, because it's the first episode that ever had Kraven the Hunter in the show. In the episode we see his real name, well, they don't call him that yet, they call him Sergei Kravinoff, in Africa, just having fun with his pet lion. They come to America to hunt down the Spider-Man, as he says. And they basically do a big showdown fight, you could say. And afterwards, Kraven does go to the sign. I think his name was Dr. Miles Warren, I believe it was. I know it was Miles, I think it was Warren. But yeah, he gives him the serum and turns Sergei into his giant lion. And he then calls himself Kraven the Hunter, which I didn't get that part, but still, I don't mind. And afterwards, they have just another amazing fight at the end after that. This one, I believe, was actually pretty cool. It had good writing, some amazing fight scenes, and just really all was really cool to have a good episode. It was a really good episode that first introduced Kraven the Hunter, and stuff like that, and I also really like how he's a giant lion. That's amazing. Just yes. Anyways, it also sets up for the next episode that comes after that with the little cliffhanger at the end of the next episode. Like, sort of something like that, but it does lead to something that happens in the next episode, so yeah. Number 9 on the list is Spider-Man vs. Dr. Octopus. Not the first appearance of the character, but the first time the character is shown as the actual character himself. Because Otto, I believe, appeared in several episodes back, or 4 or 5 episodes, I believe, he appeared back in. And so, yeah. So in this episode, basically, Otto is trying to, is doing some work at Oscorp, and also here, they call him Dr. Octopus for jokes, so he has those mechanical arms and stuff. He's working late until someone locks him into this room and activates some of the core, I believe it was, and then it blows up. Spidey sees what's happening and goes over there to save the day and stuff like that. And of course he finds him there, and Norman then shows up also, and he's now turned into Dr. Octopus in a like a way he said it, something like that. He goes like Dr. Octopus, something like that. But yeah, after everything gets away, of course, and of course he's now hunting down because of, you know the character design, how he has that circle thing for that, the parts that attach his arms to his waist, how it has that circle thing there. Well, if he clicks on it, it actually will open up and actually show another disc in there, and this disc is basically what charges the arms. So he's looking for one that will actually keep it running forever, basically, for like a long time, really. Also, so yeah, he's using that anyways. So he's using one of those he's hunting one of those down, and Spider-Man hunts him down to a carnival. And they have I'm not sure if Spider-Man's had ever a fight in the comics of a character at a fair, but this is also just an amazing fight down there. So yeah, the ingenious how he uses some of the fight and stuff, you could say, but to me it kind of is. Jokes are pretty funny there and stuff, and one other thing, I'm not sure if it actually does happen in this. I think something happened between Peter and Liz in that episode, involving also, I think, Flash and whatever what was his girlfriend's name? I forget. But yeah, I think that happens to him. I don't think it did. I don't know. I haven't seen these episodes in a long time, but I do remember the main important things in them. After we then see a shot. I mean, Norman and one of his guys there at the back of the Oscorp Tower. They're looking more at footage, seeing the Green Goblin's the one who actually shot Otto in that room, and they think Norman's the one who did it, but Norman's saying he's not, but of course we all know he's the Goblin. So anyways, number 8 on our list goes to A Spider in Rhymes, also I call it Locked Up in the Vault. And the reason why it's called Spider Rhymes also is because I remember the episode has like rhymes in it and stuff. So, but I just also wanted to put this other one in locked up in the vault. You can tell me which one of these names are better. I honestly don't think the Spider Rhymes one is good. I just wanted to have a name at least that has rhymes in it. Anyways, off topic. So this is the episode that comes before the final episode of the whole show, basically. And in this episode, basically, Spider-Man's asked by the police commissioner, to come test out this new supervillain prison called the Vault, and they put him in a cell to see if he can break out. And of course, Norman, also Mr. J. Jonah Jameson's there, so he can embarrass him. And of course, Jameson gets mad at many points because Spidey's managed to break out because during all this time there's a play that's going on that he's supposed to show up there for Liz, which is his girlfriend at the time. And so he's saying to himself he either has to admit he can't break out or break out. To also get a good mad face on Jameson, of course. And he does get some good lines here. Of course, Norman has to leave at some point. Spidey does able to escape, and apparently not. They could cause a lockdown now, but of course, Spider-Man. Apparently, some of the doors that are supposed to be locked are not locked because of the Goblin, who's like controlling the doors, activating some of them, so we're starting to get by. And he makes it to this one cell block, finding many of his previous bad guys he's fought before, like Mysterio, Shocker, Ox, and I think his name is Fancy Dan, and what was it, Silvermane, and stuff like that. So afterwards, Goblin then releases all the villains out, including some other thugs. And during all this is happening, there's the play going on also during this, and Harry Osborn doesn't show up also, and this one character, I forgot what his name was, Kobe, that's what his name was. Kobe, who's this one side character who's going to the school. He's there, and he takes Harry Osborn's place, and it's a rare moment for this character because this is the only episode we ever hear him talk, which is odd and stuff. And so, yeah. Anyway, so now as many times as this goes on, the play's a rhyming play. So we hear rhymes as we go on that also narrate some of the parts of the fights that Spider-Man has with the thugs. Of course, he takes out many normal thugs and fights the big guys. And then he has to fight also Rhino and Molten Man. And there's also a plot where Black Cat comes into the prison to break out her father, who's actually known as the cat burglar, who's the one who murdered Uncle Ben. And Spidey doesn't let him break out. Of course, she helps him to regain control of the prison by stopping the villains, because there's one room that if they lead the villains all can get into, and these gas tanks that once you pull a lever, they'll unleash a knockout gas, but someone has to be on the inside as they do it, so whoever's on the inside will be trapped in there. Black Cat tells Spidey to do it, but revealed in a flashback, actually, a couple seconds later on in the episode, that actually, we already saw him do it before that flashback, but Black Cat's father does it because he's revealing the flashback saying, he says that prison's where he belongs, because he says when he got older as the cat burglar, he got more sloppy and would never carry a gun, and actually feels bad that he ended Ben Parker's life. But that still doesn't make them even, is what Spider-Man says. Of course, he doesn't know who Spider-Man is, but he knows Spider-Man was really mad at him when he killed that man. So yeah. Anyway, so of course, he stays in there now, and of course Goblin also attacks Spider-Man. Black Cat helps him a bit, and Goblin goes away. Spider-Man knows the Goblin's still here. And now also, Black Cat's mad at him, and he'll never forgive Spider-Man for having his father be still in prison and stuff like that. This episode overall, I think, was pretty good. A lot of action, and Jameson does get some good freak-out moments in the episode. I like how they're kind of like having the play kind of sort of narrate parts in the fight. Also, Goblin also rhymes while narrating stuff in the fight too, so that's kind of interesting to see. Number 7 on the list is Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same. In the episode that came before this, Venom breaks into the Daily Planet and not Daily Planet, Daily Bugle, and just reveals to everyone just like out loud going like Peter Parker is Spider-Man! Or is it Peter Parker and Spider-Man the same? I don't know. So they started interrogating Peter, asking, hey, are you Spider-Man? Are you Spider-Man? Something like that. And then also going to bring up a memory that a couple episodes back where he was at his school Halloween fair where he was dressed up as Spider-Man. So they assume that also makes him Spider-Man, but stuff like that. And so, yeah. Anyway, so after that, it's now having this big thing all over newspapers and stuff, where it's Peter Parker's Spider-Man and all this stuff, and Venom's now trying to go attack Peter at his high school, but of course, Flash Thompson, being the Spider-Man fan, he, of course, puts on a Spider-Man costume and almost gets himself killed, like an idiot he's being there. And almost he does, but of course, Spider-Man does defeat Venom. Of course, Venom got a symbiote back in the last episode, I believe, because Spider-Man put the symbiote in concrete, but apparently Venom got it back. And of course, the symbiote's not lost in the sewers. Brock goes to a hospital, and yeah. And afterwards, now the whole it was actually afterwards, or the whole city, the newspapers are being put out saying that of its image of half of Peter's face, half of Spider-Man's face with a cross on it, saying they're not the same. So of course they are, but now people don't know that. So yes, overall I think this episode's pretty good. It keeps you almost on the edge of your seat the entire time. If you're going like are people gonna find out he's Spider-Man? Are people gonna find out he's Peter? And of course you know they're not going to, but still it makes the episode more thrilling and exciting and stuff. And it makes you want to go like, what's gonna happen? And of course seeing Venom in more episodes again is pretty cool because the Venom is awesome in the show and stuff like that. Number 6 is simply titled Molten Man. This is the first episode and one of the only 2 episodes Molten Man appears, because he appeared in the episode when Spider-Man was in the vault. In this episode, Molten Man is actually Mark Allen, who's the brother of Liz Allen, and apparently what we've heard is actually sort of a relatable thing that people can actually in real life can relate to in this character, where he apparently gambles on horses and he stole a car once. And this time it goes too far when he's asking his, I think it was what they call him, a bookie. A guy named Blackie Jack. I think they call him a bookie. And so he wants him to give him money so he can bet on a horse so he can pay him, Blackie Jack, back. But Goblin comes in, making him Blackie Jack, and then bring Mark to this Oscorp building to turn him into Molten Man. They do, and they make Mark believe he's got control of the powers, rather that he can turn them on and off. And Goblin apparently is actually more in control. Is actually in control, not he is. But yeah, anyways, well, the funny scene is though actually when he's at the horse race, the suit turns on and he starts going going, go away, and a cop comes up to him and says, "Yes, I can't do that, buddy," because he thinks he's saying that to him. But then Mark grabs him, going "Is it gone?" Which is the best moment in it, where he doesn't understand what's going on, because he's going "I can't do that, buddy." The cop's not gonna go away, but then he thinks that the armor, the powers are gone, and he goes, "Is it gone?" So yeah, anyways, of course, in the end of the fight with Spider-Man, Goblin asks his Molten Man, or Mark, to kill Spider-Man, or eliminate him, but he doesn't want to because he saved his sister's life one time. But of course, he doesn't do that, of course. Anyways, but yeah, of course, also Mary Jane and Liz show up, because in this show, Mary Jane, I think, had some, love feelings for Mark and stuff like that. They do manage to defeat Mark, and he goes to prison, and Liz is sad, and stuff like that, and overall, I think it's a really great episode. Mark is a relatable character as deals with actual real life crisis issues, how he gambles and steals cars, and how his gambling this time took it too far, caused him to do something that he can never get away. Probably, but still, something like that. Number 5 is Conquering the Symbiote. This was the final episode that had Spider-Man wearing the symbiote costume, and in this episode during its Anime in the hospital, so that's another shining moment. But the entire episode mainly takes place almost in a bell tower, or also in Spidey's psyche almost, where he's trying to battle the symbiote as in that bell tower. He managed to do it. Getting memories back to all the previous episodes where he's helped people and defeated so many bad guys before to save the city, and inspiring words from Uncle Ben and stuff. He does manage to defeat the symbiote and get it off. He knocks it off by using the bell power, and then afterwards when he returns back to Dr. Connor's labs when he's not there. Brock's going in there because Brock was fired because they think he stole it, and when he sees Spidey returning it, he's now thankful because now knowing that his job is safe. But Spidey turns the condition, because the thing the symbiote's in is actually designed to keep it alive, but Spider-Man turns down the heat condition to really cold, so it soon freezes up and dies. And Brock's saying what he's doing, and Spidey goes basically saying, I have to. Something like that. I think he goes like, I have to, you don't know what it can do, so he has to. But of course, Spider-Man's still alive, attaches himself to Brock, and then tells him that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same. So yes. And now, because he hates both Peter and the Spidey, so yes. So now it's up for the episodes, yes. Overall, it's really great. It's nice seeing like Spider-Man like conquering this fear in his psyche. Like I said, most of the episode takes place in his psyche. More or less, and it's really interesting to see this. It's really interesting to see not a lot of comedy in the episode because it's a more serious moment where he's trying to just take down the symbiote, and it's overall a really great episode. Number 4, Sandman's Change of Heart. This is a really good episode. When I first saw it, I was really shocked by it. And of course, the final episode was Sandman, and that's where basically it starts off with Sandman robbing a bank, I believe, something like that. But then Spider-Man goes to fight him, but Spidey goes to Sandman and going like, you have this incredible power, but you're wasting it on robbing a bank. And he's correct. Sandman has this incredible power, but he's wasting it on like money, gold, jewels. He could be doing good things with those abilities. And then later on in the episode, we see there's also some stuff involving Spider-Man at school. I mean, Peter at school. I forget what happened in school. But I know at some point we see a little girl trying to build a sandcastle. And I think some boys knock her sandcastle down. That's where we see the sand actually comes to life and built a giant sandcastle for her. And we actually realize Sandman. And the girl asks who he is, and she's happy that he did that for her. And we're starting to see that his heart is actually being changed a bit. So he's not full on being a bad guy anymore. But of course, Hammerhead has to come in, convincing him, you must do this. You must do this shit, like something like that. And demands him to attack this like power plant in the middle of the water. He does, and Spidey has to get involved. But because of that, the thing's about to explode and be destroyed, and everyone's might die. So Sandman, basically, I think he tells Spider-Man to get out. He'll get everyone else out, and he does manage to do that, but sacrifices himself and dies. But of course, and Spidey's and I think I've already said it, but I think he looks down into the ocean. And now thinks about how Sandman's changed of heart. Whereas before the episode, then we see Sandman briefly appear on the shore, but then he blows away in the wind and never be seen again. He's not dead. He's probably just like blown away somewhere. I don't think he's dead. Yeah, I think it's an overall great episode because I can see that because Spider-Man like in this episode he's not really trying to just arrest Sandman. He's just trying to like help convince him because you can tell he's seeing good in this man, and he wants him to be good, and because he does have an incredible power and he's wasting it on banks, and he does. He sacrifices himself to save the power plant. We don't know if he's actually dead, but still, and it's still amazing. A really heartwarming episode you could think of, and yes. Number 3 on the list goes to Spider-Man vs. Mysterio. The first episode that Mysterio was in, well, not physically. But as Mysterio, actually, because Mysterio appeared in an episode with the Chameleon. Well, not as Mysterio, but still. But what's actually cool about this episode, actually, Stan Lee makes a cameo appearance in it, so 5 bonus points for that. Anyway, so in the episode during this, Mysterio is robbing some mechanical parts, and it's a really fun episode because also Spider-Man is also sick at the same point. So it has like a funny fact when he's finally also sneezing, and when Mysterio reveals himself after he's caught, he reveals to Spider-Man who he is. And Spider-Man is going like, who are you? Like, just like funny. And Spider-Man, as he's arresting him, he's like sneezing and he just goes, ugh, Gesundheit. And not much to go on this episode really. I think this is I was running out of ideas for this one, so I decided to put this one here because it's actually really funny. Number 2 on the list is the Christmas special. This is my favorite episode, but of course, if it's my favorite episode, why is it on number 2? Because I've said this on my other channel before. My top 10 lists on here are not my top 10 lists. They're probably all our top 10 lists, you could say. Because the things I put in these slots are things I think that would fit best in these slots. So that's not physically my top 10 lists. Something like that. So yes. So if the Christmas special basically, it's remember how in the Hunt episode I said it leads to summer episode. That episode leads to this episode actually. The Christmas special basically Dr. Octopus settles the Sinister Six again. So it consisted of, well, we don't know it's him yet until the next episode. He's actually called the Master Planner. The team consists of Vulture, Electro, Rhino, Sandman, Mysterio, and Rhino. Kraven, and no Doc Ock. He was supposed to join them, but of course he didn't. But of course he's actually the master planner. And Spider-Man has to fight them individually, each of them. And it's funny during that when he's before he fights him Electro, he actually burns his tongue on hot chocolate. Because many times in the fight he'll be talking like this, like Electro when he shows up at this ice rink where the ice rink to attack an ice rink so Spider-Man can show up. He's going like this is how the scene goes. Like it goes like, show yourself, you wall crawling, and Spider-Man just comes in going like no, something like that, and Electro just goes like, what? And he just like gets his rubs on his face. And when Vulture comes in, he hears Spider-Man talk like that too, and he just goes, what? It's like funny, like every time they hear him like talking, they're going like, what? It's like so funny how they're like, what the hell is he saying? I mean, it is funny. He fights them all individually. I like how all the fights he has with them. Of course, Mysterio is the only guy that's arrested. They all escape. But still, overall, I think it's a great episode to watch and check it out. And the #1 best Spectacular Spiderman episode goes to the series finale. Of course, it has to go to this one. In the series finale, Green Goblin, of course, has been back for at least, I think, 3 weeks now. He's been setting something up with the Goblin Gang, and we don't know what. And then Harry's been revealed that he's actually been, the reason he hasn't been shown up for school over the last couple of days, he was kidnapped by the Goblin. And originally in the show we thought Harry was the Goblin, but apparently not. So they originally didn't think it was actually Donald Mencken. What Osborn and Harry think it's all Mencken, but then afterwards, and they don't. And afterwards Spidey, I'm just like trying to skip ahead because I want in this video soon. Now, just burped, sorry. Excuse me. Anyways, so yeah. Harry and Norman have some way going to a helicopter to try and find the Goblin. Spidey does manage to find the Goblin, and they have a really epic final showdown. And Spidey accidentally gets his mask off and reveals it's Norman Osborn. Oh, who the hell didn't see that coming? No, we all saw it coming. So yeah. Anyway, so they have an epic fight. They also revealed that actually Chameleon was actually posing himself as Norman Osborn this time, and apparently Norman Osborn went out for all these lengths to make sure he was not found out about he was the Goblin. Like even in the episode where we found out that Harry was the Goblin, not really. He actually breaks his own leg, like how Norman broke his leg, so he has to break his leg to make it look like it's believable. So that's messed up. Of course, Spidey accidentally knocks Norman into a bunch of pumpkin bombs and he blows up, believes, dies. And all the parts in the episode where Peter breaks up with Liz so we can date Gwen, and Gwen has to try and date him, but of course they're not able to. And of course now the Condors are leaving the city also because they're fired and stuff, so they have to leave. And of course we briefly see where the episode ends. Norman with his hair blonde and a mustache, and he leaves the city, and which was, of course, people thought he was going to become the Hobgoblin. But of course, Disney coming in, screwing us up, canceling the show on a cliffhanger, and then just giving us that bullshit show known as the Ultimate Spider-Man. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this episode top 10. I hope you guys liked it. Tell me, was there any Spectacular Spider-Man episodes I missed on this list? And tell me, did you guys enjoy that show? Because I know I did. So leave in the comments down below. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next top 10 video. Later.